Hola y bienvenidos a este video donde vamos a aprender los nombres de diferentes tipos de tiendas. También aprenderemos a decir dónde está una tienda, a qué horas abre y a qué horas cierra. Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to learn the names of different types of shops. We'll also learn to say where a shop is, when it opens, and when it closes. Las metas de esta clase son aprender los nombres de diferentes tipos de tiendas, aprender las preposiciones de lugar para describir dónde está una tienda, y aprender a hablar sobre los horarios de las tiendas. Now let's start off with a reminder of some vocabulary from one of my previous lessons about places in town. If you want to talk about what there is in your city, you can say en mi ciudad hay, which means in my city there is or there are. So this word hay, H-A-Y, super useful because it doesn't change if you say one thing or you say several things. It means there is and there are, just hay. En mi ciudad hay. And if you live in a town, then this would be en mi pueblo hay. In my town there is or there are. Now the first shop you need to know the name for is one that covers quite a lot of different things you'd want to buy. Un supermercado, a supermarket. And this next one isn't really a shop either, but it's a place where you'll find lots of shops. Un centro comercial, a shopping center or a mall. So you could say en el centro comercial hay. In the shopping center there is or there are, and then you could talk about all the different types of shops. So we're going to take a look now at some specific shop words. Now if you want to say a bookshop, you can say una librería. Una librería, a bookshop. Un libro, as you may know, means a book, so you can see the link here. Un libro, una librería. En la librería se venden libros. In the bookshop, books are sold. A toy shop is una juguetería. And again, you might know that juguetes are toys, so we've got again that link. And I've underlined ería because all of these shop names, not every single shop, but there's quite a number of shop names that end in ería, and the first bit tells you kind of what they sell. So I could say, en la juguetería se venden juguetes. In the toy shop, toys are sold. Una panadería is a bakery, and pan, el pan, is bread. So pan, panadería. En la panadería se vende pan. Now because bread is it's a non-countable noun, it's just bread can be one piece of bread or lots of bread, so it's treated as singular. So instead of se venden, here we've got se vende. So when it's just one thing is sold, se vende. When several things are sold, se venden. Una pastelería, a cake shop. Un pastel is a cake, pastelería, cake shop. En la pastelería se venden pasteles. In the cake shop, cakes are sold. No surprises there. Now this one, a hairdresser's, isn't really a shop as such, but it does follow this same kind of pattern in terms of the names of shops. Una peluquería, just like panadería, juguetería, librería. We've got pel, coming from el pelo, which means hair, and ería, which is this pattern we're seeing in lots of different shops, lots of places on the high street. They're going to end in ería. So instead of saying in the hairdressers they sell hair, because obviously they don't normally do that, we could say en la peluquería cortan pelo. In the hairdressers they cut hair. A shoe shop, una zapatería, and un zapato is a shoe, los zapatos, shoes. En la zapatería se venden zapatos. In the shoe shop they sell shoes. Una pescadería, el pescado is fish when it's food, and pez or peces when they're living animals. So here we can see again pescado, pescadería. En la pescadería se vende pescado. Una carnicería is a butcher's, and la carne means meat. So la carne, carnicería. En la carnicería se vende carne. Una frutería is a greengrocer's, and here you can see it's got the word fruta. La fruta means fruit in the name. Obviously greengrocers do sell vegetables and a few other things as well, but for whatever reason frutería, fruta is the main kind of aspect of this word. So we could say en la frutería se vende fruta. We could also say en la frutería se venden frutas y verduras. Fruits and vegetables are sold in the greengrocers. Going from the very healthy greengrocers to something a bit more indulgent, una heladería, silent H, heladería, is an ice cream shop or an ice cream parlor. Un helado is an ice cream, so helado, heladería. En la heladería se venden helados. In the ice cream parlor they sell ice creams. Una cafetería, a coffee shop. El café, coffee. En la cafetería se vende café. In the coffee shop, coffee is sold. Now that's all the examples I want to give you today of shop names ending in eria, and we're now going to look at some other shops that don't really follow that pattern. So you've now got lots of different words for specific types of shops, but of course there are loads of different types of shops. There are shops that just sell vape pens or just sell candles, or they just specialize in socks. So for any other type of shop you can say una tienda de, a shop of, and then the name of the thing in Spanish that they sell. So a candle shop, to go with that example, una tienda de velas, a shop of candles. A clothes shop, una tienda de ropa. A sports shop, una tienda de deportes, where you can get sports equipment. Una tienda de segunda mano, a second-hand shop or a charity shop. Una tienda de antigüedades, an antique shop. Una tienda de muebles, a furniture shop. Una tienda de electrodomésticos, a home appliances shop. So we've now learned all the nouns that we could possibly need to talk about shops. We've got the specific ones that end in eria, panaderia, fruteria, cafeteria, and we've got that phrase una tienda de, a shop of, for any other type of shop. So we've got all the nouns, but before we move on to look at how to say when they open and when they close and where they are, I want us to practice these nouns and make sure they're really going in. So on a piece of paper, write 1 to 11, and I want you to translate the Spanish words and phrases into English, but I'm going to give you two options. You can either pause the video whilst the English kind of jumbled up tiles are on the screen, or if you'd rather do this from memory and challenge yourself a bit more, just wait for those to disappear. So hopefully you finished that translation task and you're now ready to go through the answers. Una fruteria is a greengrocer's, una tienda de ropa, a clothes shop, una carniceria, a butcher's, una heladeria, an ice cream shop, una panaderia, a bakery, una cafeteria, a coffee shop, una libreria, a bookshop, una jugueteria, a toy shop, una pasteleria, a cake shop, una peluqueria, a hairdresser's, y una zapateria, a shoe shop. Now so far we've been using all this vocabulary with the indefinite article, the word for a or an. So we've been saying a greengrocer's or a coffee shop, una cafeteria. But if we want to say the greengrocer's or the coffee shop, we need to change una for la. Because if we're saying en mi pueblo hay, in my town there is, then we would say that in my town there is a bakery. But if I want to say the bakery opens at 11, or I want to go to the bakery, or the bakery is next to the bookshop, then I'm using the word the. Now to know when to use una or un and when to use la or el, just think about English, because it's always exactly the same context. If you'd use the in English, you're going to use el or la, los or las in Spanish, and if you'd use a or an in English, you're going to use un or una. Now if we want to talk about the location of different shops, we need to use the verb estar, and then we're going to conjugate it into the it form to say it is, in which case it's going to be está. Now you might know that in Spanish there are two verbs to be. There's ser and there's estar. Ser, to be, soy, I am. Estar, to be, estoy, I am. And hopefully you know we use them in different contexts for different things. But for location we always use estar, which is why we wouldn't say la fruteria es, we'd say la fruteria está, and then a location. So I could say la tienda de ropa está en el centro. The clothes shop is in the center. Or I could use prepositions of place. Things like enfrente de, which means opposite, al lado de, which means next to, a la izquierda de, to the left of, a la derecha de, to the right of, or entre, which means between. So have a look at those. You can write them down if you want as well. And have a think, what would it mean if I said, la panaderia está enfrente de la cafetería. La panadería está enfrente de la cafetería. So the bakery is opposite the coffee shop. I'll give you another one to have a think of. La juguetería está a la izquierda de la peluquería. La juguetería está a la izquierda de la peluquería. The toy shop is to the left of the hairdressers. And one final one to get you thinking. La zapatería está entre la heladería y la tienda de ropa. La zapatería está entre la heladería y la tienda de ropa. The shoe shop is between the ice cream parlor and the clothes shop. Now to finish off, we're going to learn how to say when different shops open and close. So I could say la tienda de ropa, the clothes shop, abre opens, or cierra, closes, a la una, at 1 o'clock, a las dos, or a las tres, or any other number. So it's always going to be a las with a number, with the exception of 1 o'clock, which is a la una. So I could say a las dos, a las tres, a las cuatro, a las cinco, anytime. I could also say al mediodía. It might be that if I live in Spain, I might say cierra al mediodía. It closes at midday. Y abre a las tres, and it opens at 3, because in Spain they have the siesta. When it's hot, they close all the shops down, everyone finds a bit of shade for a few hours. If I want to say at 1:30, then I could say a las 2:30, a las 3:30. Of course, if it's 1:30, it would be a la 1:30. And I could also talk about what days of the week it closes. I could say, let's see, which one's unlikely to be open on a Sunday. Maybe the hairdressers. La peluquería cierra los domingos. The hairdressers closes, or it's closed, on Sundays. If something's open every day, I could say abre todos los días. It's open every day. Now with the word cierra, remember the double R is a R sound, and if you're learning Spanish, you want to have the Iberian Spanish accent, the accent from Spain, it would be pronounced cierra in most of Spain. Cierra, with a TH sound. Whereas in Latin America, it's pronounced sierra. So have a think, what would it mean if I said La carnicería cierra al mediodía los domingos? La carnicería cierra al mediodía los domingos. So it would mean the butcher's closes at midday on Sundays. Now one last one to practice. La peluquería abre a las 9 y cierra a las 4. La peluquería abre a las 9 y cierra a las 4. The hairdresser's opens at 9 and closes at 4. Just a quick reminder to hit that like button if you found this video useful, if you found it interesting. It's just a click of a button or a tap of the screen for you, but it really means a lot to me, and it helps me to know which videos people have found most useful as well. Also, if you have any comments, please do use the comment function below. You can say something that you learned, something that you found a bit difficult, and again, it will help me to plan future videos. And if you haven't already done so, please do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the future videos that I'll be posting. If you really don't want to miss out on any of them, you can also turn on notifications.